Who do you turn to when you need some of the best sound advice from some of the best thinkers, movers, and shakers on the planet? In this episode, I'm going to show you how to develop a strong congressional cabinet. What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, King Prime, and I can be found at iamkingprime.com. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how to build a strong congressional cabinet, and I'll also give you insight on when to utilize that cabinet during crucial times in your life. So there are a host of things that you probably are asking yourself. What is a congressional cabinet? Who are the members? What qualifies them? What does it require of you? What are the benefits of this congressional cabinet? I'm going to show you how my congressional cabinet has empowered me. And then I'm going to give you steps to create your very own. So what is the congressional cabinet? Okay, you're the president of your life. You're the president, you're the emperor, you're the king. Now, left up to you, you can think that everything that comes across your radar, every thought that processes through your mind, that it is good, it is valid, and it is correct. Just like the president, without checks and balances, you would have your way all the time. You're 100% right all the time, even when you're wrong. So my congressional cabinet is defined as a group of highly respectable and trusted friends that possess the core values of integrity, loyalty, respect, and courage. And that looks different for each of those people. I can call them at any time, any hour, and they will show up for me. They are what I call the 1 a.m. friends. If you don't have 1 a.m. friends, they're not truly real friends. So what qualifies them? It's how they showed up in my life when I needed them most. They've had my best interests at hand. They believed in me. Their backgrounds are very diverse. I like to say too much pepper or too much salt makes for a very lousy meal. I also have diverse ages in this category because perspective and age matter. It is a members only club. You don't have to go around and say, hey, you're in my congressional Congress, you're in my cabinet. When you have that relationship with the people, they know. The last thing that I would say that qualifies that person is they are highly respected in their community, in their home, and in their industry. Now, what does this require of you? I'm glad you asked. It requires you to be vulnerable, to be open, to share exactly what it is that you're thinking, that you're feeling, and to lay it all out there to this person that you trust and that person that trusts you back. You have to be honest with yourself and with this person who has a goal of helping you, and take ownership of whatever it is that you are bringing to the table. I like to say extreme ownership. And it also requires you to be a contributor. You can't just have this high level of accountable people that can help steer and guide you in your life and you aren't giving anything back. You have to be a contributor in return. So the benefits of having this congressional Congress is it gives you situational perspective. It may give you time to sit down and calm down a bit. You know, blow off some steam before you do the wrong thing. And it's a good space to get general counsel because this group of experienced people have lived a lot of life. They're willing to give you insight to that so that you won't stumble and make the same mistake. Here are some ways that my cabinet has empowered me. So there have been points in my life where I've had major financial struggles. And those financial struggles, sometimes I wondered how I was going to put food on the table. And people saw it from afar without saying anything. And they would say, hey, come on over for dinner tomorrow. Come over for dinner tonight. Or even going out to lunch or dinner. They would say, hey, we're going to lunch in a couple hours. Don't worry about the cost. I got you covered. And that mattered a lot to me, especially when I could not do it for myself. Along the way, as I went for job interviews and career advancements, I had people that would sit down with me and say, hey, I know it's important to you. When you go in, you've got to stun these people at this interview. So let's practice. And they availed themselves for that. I remember this one time my brother was getting married and I didn't even have the money to be at my brother's wedding as his best man. And a very good friend and mentor of mine. He called me over to his house. Actually, I'm gonna imitate. He said, "Well, me and my wife want to sit down and talk to you." So, so I get there, and he said, "Well, I know it's a very important time for you. I know your brother's getting married, and you're his best man, and it's a very important event, and I know you're doing the best for your family, and I really want to support you. So, uh, here are the keys to my car. It's my Cadillac, and it's full of gas, and I want to give you a few $100s to help out with the trip. So, I just want to be a blessing to you." And in short, man, I wouldn't have been at my own brother's wedding as his best man had someone not stepped in and did that for me. You know who you are. You know you're my man. I appreciate you. I've also leaned on my congressional cabinet for divorce. Like, man, I called 5 people in my cabinet that I knew had went through this process of divorce. And the way it happened, so dramatic and so fast, man, I probably would have been lost without these people being in my life. I made 5 phone calls within about 50 minutes, and I knew exactly what to do. And it was greatly to my benefit. I can give you one more example. Very good friend of mine. He's also my realtor. He knows me better than most. We looked at homes. I told him what I was looking for, and I was ready to settle on a home. He went home. This man stayed up wee hours of the night because it just didn't sit well in his spirit. He was like, I know him. I know he's an extrovert. I know he likes to go places. I know he likes to do things. He is not going to enjoy this house way the heck out here with nothing to do. So he called me the next day and he said, "Hey, I just got to show you a few more houses. You don't have to say yes, but it did not sit well with me knowing that you're potentially about to get into something that you think you like, but you probably won't like it long term." And he showed me this house, this very house that I'm recording this video in. This is a night and day location and experience of a house than what I would have settled on. So these people, this congressional cabinet being in your life, especially as men, it matters. A lot of men feel like they don't have a place to go, a home to go to, or it's being soft if you open up to other guys. But that is truly what we have to do. So here are the steps of creating your congressional cabinet. Think about the people that you personally know, like, and trust. And ask yourself, are they a battery, meaning that they charge you, or are they a drain, meaning when you talk to them, when you're done speaking, have they taken from you and you just feel drained? Recall to how they've contributed in your life and at what level. Find ways that you can appreciate and add value back to their life. It doesn't have to be the same. If someone treated you to lunch or gave you information so that you could make a financial gain, doesn't mean that it has to be reciprocated in the same manner. You may be highly inclined in mechanical things, and you may be able to repair their car and save them, I don't know, $1,000. What I'm saying is nurture and make deposits into that relationship, into that friendship. So here's what I want you to know. Your congressional cabinet, it can be one of the most amazing things in your arsenal. It can be incredible. You want a sounding board / advisory board as you navigate through life. It can get tricky sometimes, this life that we live. And this is a place that you can get great general counsel, even when you think you're right. Getting a second opinion from people that you know and trust is valuable. The experiences that other people have encountered and the insight that they can provide to those experiences to you is priceless. There is no need to reinvent the wheel. Drop me a comment below and let me know if you see the value in creating a congressional cabinet for yourself and for your future. I've said this a time or two, but I'm going to say it again. I don't know how much more I can tell you that I appreciate you being here, supporting this venture, supporting this effort. Wherever you listen to this, whether it's the video version on YouTube, whether it's the Apple podcast, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Google Play, TuneIn Radio, Sirius XM, I appreciate you being here. It would mean a lot to me if you stop by wherever you listen and leave me a 5-star rating if you would be so kind and if you found value in this. This is how we grow the effort. This is how we build a community, and this is how we send a great message forward to continue to build leaders. My job is not to be easy on people. My job is to take the great people that we have and push them and make them better. That is a quote from Steve Jobs. Be sure to follow me at King Prime on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram at iam.kingprime. I will see you next week in the next video. And until then, look your best, do your best, and be your best.